The annual cake. Candles, balloons, presents, and waiting to see your birthday cake is all part of the excitement. Such a normal dessert, but why so important? Other than presents, of course, birthday cakes have been one of the best parts of a birthday for centuries now. In my family, for 4 generations now, it has been tradition for mothers to make their kids' homemade birthday cakes. The kids always get to pick out the kind of cake and flavor of icing, but Mom's final project was always a secret until the candles were blown out. Birthday cakes originated from Germany and were more bread-like and less sweet. Later in the 17th century, however, cakes became more elaborate with details like icing, layers, and decorations such as flowers and patterns. The wealthy could only afford such a thing, so this wasn't necessarily a tradition for all yet. When the 18th century came around, the utensils and baking supplies needed to make a cake became more readily available and cheaper, so more cakes were produced and the cost of them dropped, making them a treat for everyone to enjoy on their special day. Birthday cakes are a tradition that is particularly culturally special to me. Starting with my great-grandmother, then my grandmother, next my mother, and now I, the tradition of making a family member, mostly moms to their kids, a homemade birthday cake from scratch has stayed alive in my family for generations. The tradition started when my great-grandmother's love for cooking compensated for the money she could not come up with to buy my grandmother a cake for her birthday each year when she was a girl. Years later, after having my mother at 17 and being a single mom, my grandmother was left working 3 jobs to support my mother. My grandmother's love for cooking then also compensated for the money she could not find to get my mother a cake every year as a girl. Being fortunate growing up, my mom did not follow the tradition for the first few years of my brother and I's lives, but she started when I was about 11. Finally, 2 years ago, around the age of 15, I made my first birthday cake from scratch for my brother's 18th birthday. After watching for years and years, I took on the challenge and the tradition. My great-grandmother is about 5% away from being full German, my grandmother is nearly 3/4 German, my mother is a little over half German, and I'm about 40 to 50% German. It originated from Germany, whereas so did my family. The birthday cake comes from where my family originated. The tradition could have carried back even past my great-grandmother, however, I sadly have no way of knowing. While everyone holds their cultural possessions near and dear to them, my family makes ours. I hope to one day pass the tradition on to my kids and then later even my grandkids. While it's not necessarily a cultural object, these birthday cakes have been a family tradition that has brought joy and happiness to our family one birthday at a time.